Marketing is a massive thing. Advertising agencies assure us their product is the best there is. Amazing graphics, sensational gameplay, incredible storyline. But what happens when a game falls short of the hype? Number 1. Fallout 76. Here's a game that everyone knew would flop even before it was released, and yet they still put millions of dollars into marketing it. The game had massive performance issues, was boring to play, and the canvas bag that came free with the collector's edition game ended up being a cheap nylon one. Number 2. Watchdogs. Originally marketed as amazing too good to be true graphics, it turned out that they were too good to be true. When released, the game's graphics had been downgraded and people felt cheated and probably should have called the consumer watchdog. Number 3. Anthem. A big game from a big name. EA and BioWare promised a lot and delivered too little. Focused too heavily on the free world multiplayer aspect, it failed to capture people's attention, and a multiplayer world without multiple players is empty and boring. Number 4. Mass Effect Andromeda. Mass Effect Andromeda flopped partly because its predecessor set the bar too high. Although poor facial animation, lack of depth in the characters and storyline, and technical difficulties like characters failing to load or audio files playing simultaneously all add to the general feeling of a half-finished product that wasn't ready for release. Number 5. 007 Legends. Marketed as to be taking the best from every Bond film and game there has ever been, 007 Legends is just that. A hash-up of various Bond actors and classic Bond scenes that seems fractured and lacks fluidity, playability, and most of the other illities as well. Number 6. SimCity. This was supposed to be SimCity's rebirth, an MMO with new social capabilities, which turned out to be a mainly single-player game that couldn't be played offline, and during the first few days after its release couldn't be played at all. Rather than the rebirth of SimCity, it was the final nail in its coffin. Number 7. Assassin's Creed Unity. Possibly one of the most overly hyped games out there, it was marketed everywhere. They even set up an Assassin's Creed obstacle course at Comic-Con. Unfortunately, the game was so full of bugs, it was virtually unplayable. And even though they gave away DLC and free downloads for Black Flag, The Crew, Far Cry 4, Just Dance, Rayman Legends, and Watchdogs for everyone who bought season passes, people were still unhappy. Number 8. APB. From the creator of Grand Theft Auto, Lemmings and Crackdown, David Jones combines all of his game-creating knowledge and $100 million to make a multiplayer open world that nobody really wanted to play. All servers have been shut down and the game has been rebranded as APB Reloaded, but it's still a pile of B. Number 9. Haze. This game was supposedly going to be better than Halo. Think about that. But it had a bad plot, short storyline, and was full of glitches, and was a surprisingly short game. Not necessarily a bad thing in this case. It just didn't hit the mark. It didn't even do the game cover justice. Number 10. Duke Nukem Forever. 14 years in the making, hostile takeovers, lawsuits and dodgy dealings. After all this build-up, there was no possible way this game was going to meet expectations. But did it really have to be so bad? Which of these games did you hate the most? Comment below.